The key to a happy relationship. My name is Niels, and together with my wife, we are the couple coaches. And today I want to talk about a very important topic which I avoided for years. And this is about emotional vulnerability. And I want to share a story of myself. I'm a T guy, I'm 25 years IT, so everything in my life I did was very logical, very analytical. So in my job, there was no emotion around. So I started with some microsystems. I worked there for over 17 years, and I was the youngest employee in Germany at that time. I was very successful in some way. However, I was never thinking about that I'm a successful person. Actually, I was thinking the opposite, that I didn't deserve the success I had. And I actually felt myself that I was not deserving the position I have, and that I actually was hired just for whatever reasons. I thought they must be kidding me, hiring me, because I wasn't really a special person. I was coming from a small town in northern Germany. I had an IT degree, but nothing special. So I was like, why do they hire me? I mean, they did. I did an incredible job. However, I didn't see myself being a credible person. I was always dismissive of what I'm capable of. I was always talking down on myself. And that actually caused a lot of stress in myself. In 10 years, this was all my 20s basically, from 21 to 30, I was sick 4 times, stress related. And every time it went worse. At some point, a doctor told me, Mr. Rankin, if you're not going to change your life, you're not going to see your children growing up and getting married. So you have to change something. You have basically to get your shit together. And if you hear that, you feel. I actually was angry at my doctor, and it took me a while to digest that. I was happy that he was so honest to me, because I actually had to go through the questions I just asked myself. Why did I think that I didn't deserve my success? Why did I think that I was a failure? Why did I think that I will get ripped at the next opportunity? So it caused a lot of stress in myself. And where does it come from? And again, I was a very logical person, not very emotional, and I had to learn to be emotional. And for me, learning being emotional was the key to acknowledging myself, who I am, that I'm capable of having success in my job, in my career, in whatever I do. What did I do? And to be honest, Nadine was very emotional. So she was the opposite of what I was. I was technical, analytical, very logical. Nadine was very emotional and nothing about analytical, nothing about logical. And there was a lot of tension between us because I didn't understood her view. I didn't understood why she was so emotional. I didn't understood where she was coming from, because for me it was like, this is a problem, this is a solution. So I never got her at that time. And also I never didn't got my emotions that I felt inside me. I was anxious all day long. I was anxious when I woke up, and I was anxious when I went to bed. I've never talked about it because I was afraid that I had to get to a psychologist, that somebody would stamp me as, I don't know, whatever, a psychopath, and I would have to go to a clinic and be shut down for the next 6 months. So this was a story in my head. It was not true. However, this was going on in my head. Again, and now switching back, after the doctor told me, Mr. Rankin, you have to change your life, you have to change, because otherwise you won't see your kids getting married anymore. Again, that took me a couple of weeks, but that was a huge eye opener. And I actually had to think about my life. I was forced to see where this stress came from, because my job, even it was a demanding job, it wasn't stressful because I loved what I was doing. I loved the company, I loved my co-workers, everything was fine. and I realized that everything I created was in my head. I looked at my own achievement. I looked at my certificates I had. I looked at all these customer feedbacks I got. I looked everywhere. It was just stunning. It was incredible. And this was the first time ever when I thought, why do you stress yourself? And why didn't you acknowledge your feelings? Why did you always suppress them? Where could I have been if I would have been honest to myself 10 years earlier and never would have went through all this? If I really would have asked for help 10 years earlier and identifying where the anxiety comes from, where the panic comes from, where my feelings of not being good enough, not being worth of all the success, where this is coming from. If you are in the same position where you're a very logical person, where you are not very emotional, and where you feel that you don't deserve success, you don't deserve whatever you have right now, you have maybe you feel like very insecure, you feel very jealous, you cannot accept yourself, you don't see where you are right now, I invite you to think about, what did I achieve in the last 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years? And being honest to yourself, really writing down everything that you have accomplished, whatever it is. Is it a good customer feedback? Whatever work you did, you make a customer smile, you made a coworker smile, whatever it is, these small things, write them down. Whatever you worked for, whatever you created, whatever certification you got, write it down, put it on a note and celebrate it, because this is a huge accomplishment. Making every step, it's a huge accomplishment. And once I thought about what did I really achieve in my life, and seeing everything written down, I really wrote everything down. It took me a while, because to be honest, it was hard for me to really see what I did, because I didn't thought that it was a huge success. It was other people that saw that it was huge success. I actually had to ask my manager at that time, what did I do? What was great? And I had to look at all these customer reviews and all these certifications I did. I was asking my friends and seeing them, asking them, hey, can you tell me, what do you see in me? What do you appreciate? Ask them for honest feedback, and they will give you honest feedback. If they are good friends, they will give you the pure, raw, honest feedback to you. And you will be impressed how good the feedback is. And once I get that, I suddenly started feeling a sense of pride, a sense of, again, as I mentioned earlier, I was like mad at me that I really haven't looked for help earlier. If I would have looked for help earlier, I wouldn't have had to go through all these situations and problems that I went through. However, otherwise, it made the person who I am right now. This made me the person who I'm recording this video right now, with all the experience that I had, and I can share all these experience with you. The next step was really getting more into my emotions. And this actually happened like in the past 5-6 years. And where I really had to dive into my own emotions and being more aware of that there's more than it's good, it's bad. There are emotions that I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed. Like words I haven't used before. So if you are in the position where you want to learn about your emotions and hey, I want to learn how to express my emotions, start using different words for I'm good. Start, hey, I feel happy, I feel calm. Use different words than just I feel good. In the same way, if I feel bad, you can say I feel sad, I feel lonely, I feel overwhelmed, I feel anxious, I feel whatever it is. However, you start using different words than feeling good and feeling bad. the next step after I went through that, actually knowing that there are more emotions than bad and good, I actually was then learning about my wife and her emotions. So I was learning that whatever she was telling me, it was her own truth. So if she felt overwhelmed, if she felt sad, if she felt anxious, previously I was thinking, hey, what was she feeling anxious about? What was she feeling bad about? What was she feeling sad about? Because there was nothing, in my opinion, that she should have been feeling that way. Because I didn't saw any problems, and I didn't thought that it is that bad, and I didn't thought that she should be feeling that because there's no reason for it. However, I'm not her. And she has a different perspective on things than I have. So this helped me actually to shift in her perspective, because my own perspective doesn't matter when I talk about my wife's feeling or my partner's feeling in general. So if my partner feels sad, feels anxious, feels overwhelmed about the situation, then this is a valid feeling from her. And I learned to acknowledge that, to know that whatever situation we are in, it can be that I'm very comfortable in the situation and she's not. And I learned to acknowledge that we have a very different perspective, that we perceive situations completely different in an emotional way. So she can feel stressed, she can feel overwhelmed when I was thinking about, hey, this is a challenge. I'm able to do that. This is easy for me. For her, it wasn't. And this is where I actually learned in asking her, hey, I feel that you're struggling, or I feel that this is more difficult for you. Can you tell me more? So what makes it more difficult for you? So I wanted to understand her perspective, because it helped me to understand where she is coming from. And it helped me to understand where her challenges have been in that situation. And this is what I tell my clients is, if you are ahead in your development, look at your partner and see where your partner is. Ask your partner, how do you feel? Is there something I can help you with? And this is where emotional awareness of the state of your partner is so important. It's not about logic. Logic is good for problem solving. However, emotional is very important, and it's probably a little bit more important to understand where your partner comes from. So for all the logic people out there, your logic is awesome. I love that you're a logical person. I'm a logical person too. However, you need to understand where your partner comes from. And you can only do that if you learn emotions. And if you learn to understand your partner's perspective. And again, your perspective doesn't matter in that way, because your partner has a different view on things. So again, if something feels easy for you, it can be difficult for your partner. So get your partner's perspective from a situation. Ask your partner where the feeling come from, what happened. Is there something that you can help them to achieve? Is there something that you can support them? And is there something that they need from you just to be there? And often it's just, hey, I just need you to listen to me. I just need you to be there for me. I just need you to hold me when I'm sad. I just need your support, and I just need your strength. And it's not always about giving a tip or advice. No, you have to do this, you have to do that. Quite often, actually, just about being there to understand and to acknowledge. The key part, actually, for you is to really get into the emotions. Learn about your own emotions. Learn about the different emotions that you have. You learn about that they're more than just good and bad. There's more than just 0 and 1s. And if you learn that, it will be much easier for you to understand your partner. And if you don't get your partner's perspective because you don't see the problem in the situation, don't diminish the feelings from your partner and don't undervalue your partner's feelings, because they are valid, because they feel that way at the moment. They feel that way in this situation. So ask them about it. Hey, how can I support you? What do you feel? What do you need from me at that time that will help you to get over this situation? And giving the space that your partner needs to express themselves, to feel safe, and just to open up. Give you the video a thumb up, share it with someone who needs it, leave me a comment, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a great day. Bye bye.